Welcome to episode 53 of the Northern Knits podcast. At some point I'll forget to count again, and then for a while it won't be mentioned. That's how that works. We are two sisters in fibers coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, and we have officially survived our birthday week, which is not a small achievement, if I'm honest. It is a very busy weekend for us. This weekend has been a very busy weekend for us. Next weekend's a very busy weekend for us. The whole month of March is pretty much a write-off on weekends. We are not free to do anything. We are very booked.
Sleep. I miss sleep. Can like the weekdays roll around so I can sleep?
Yeah, tomorrow's Monday, so you can sleep tomorrow.
Great.
Wouldn't that be a bonus?
Yeah.
I'm Jocelyn. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram, either under the Northern Knits podcast or under Amber Dragon, spelled Dragun. It is always a picture of my face. That is very handy for most people. I invite everyone to come stalk me on the internet. It's always fun. What, isn't it?
I mean, I guess.
I love watching other people's Ravelry feeds and what they choose for favorites and patterns that they're doing, and it's incredibly intrusive, but man, do I love doing it! I also stalk Facebook statuses. I'm not going to take any judgment for it or feel bad about it. Brings me joy to know what other people are doing in their lives. Like a girlfriend of mine who lives in BC celebrated her 3rd anniversary with her partner.
That's cool.
I'd forgotten that they've been together for 3 years. I didn't stalk her Facebook statuses. This is shit that I would not know.
Alright.
It's a thing. Cool. Diana, my dear, do you want to tell everybody what we're going to try to cover this week?
Or do I get to say where I'm found on the internet?
Sure. Where can we find you on the internet?
I can be found on the internet on Instagram as Firewater and Fiber, spelled the American way fiber. And I'm on Ravelry as wool-rat, with the same picture now as my Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that helps.
Yeah, that does help a little bit. Also, we're connected to our Ravelry group.
Which is a big bonus. Diana was really good. She made sure we were all linked up. I'm really bad at making sure my links are everywhere, so I'm haphazard all over the place.
Well, I'm only a web developer for a living, so it's only like my job to make sure the links actually go places.
I'm a history major. It's not something I worry about.
As for what we're going to cover this week, we've got some What's in Our Cup, cool threads, woolly workings, yarn on the go, so little time, wool gathering, and events. Yes? Did I miss anything?
No.
Cool.
Like, not to my knowledge.
Excellent.
It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, which is why you're dealing with my unmakeup face, and my unbrushed hair, and my slightly wrinkly t-shirt. It's a Sunday morning. Just deal with it.
We have D&D this afternoon.
At the end of today, I will have played D&D for 15 hours in the last 4 days.
I created a world this last month.
So much D&D. When did that happen? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't understand.
It just sort of snowballs. Having said that, oh man, if there's any people who are local in our area and need another person to play in their D&D campaign, call me. I DM one that meets once a month because that's how the schedules work, and I play one that meets once a month because that's how the schedules work. I could use a weekly campaign.
When I was getting my coffee
I
yesterday,
may have accidentally created 2 additional first level characters, 5th edition on D&D Beyond because I was bored this week.
when I was getting my coffee on the way over yesterday, I mentioned that I was off to play D&D for the evening, and he's like, so we started talking about D&D. So
Yep.
If we need another player, we can get the guy from Little Sister. He's super into the idea of playing D&D.
He wants to play D&D with 6 women?
Well, I didn't mention it was an all-ladies campaign, just D&D in general.
It would be great. I'd like to see a man play as a woman, because that would be the stipulation. He'd have to play a female character.
Interesting. From, like, the 5 minutes of interaction I've had with him, he seems like he might be into that.
Could be good. Could be good. I mean, I always have the alternative of just running a second campaign, but I want to play as well as DM, and it's a different level of commitment. When you're DMing, it is a massive commitment.
Oh, yeah.
My brain is very, very full all the time. So I'm thinking I might just see if I can find another campaign I can play in, which would be great. One that meets like weekly or bi-weekly, so I have a bit of consistency for that. However, that has nothing to do with what's in our cup.
No, we have a special cup.
We have a special cup, and I think you should show
forgot to
off
bring-
the special mug.
I forgot to bring the second special cup.
But that's okay, because I'm drinking my coffee out of my Sailor Moon mug that my sister got me for Valentine's Day last year.
Look. We're so official. We have a mug. Turns out it's actually pretty cheap to get stuff printed on a mug, so we have mugs.
We officially have mugs with our logos on them, so we're feeling all podcasty professional now.
Yeah.
I know.
Ah.
This one, Diana's drinking out of mine because we're at my place today. That's
Yep.
totally fine.
I forgot to bring mine today.
I'm drinking out of my shiny silver Sailor Moon mug. Nothing wrong with that.
So we may also have a couple extra of these mugs for the podcast anniversary prizes.
May have gone into the giveaway piles. Yep.
So
Some two lucky people could also themselves own a Northern Knits podcast mug, which right now is an incredibly limited edition item. There's only what, 6?
5.
5?
There are only 5 in
There's
existence.
5 in existence right now. So yeah, it's a pretty hot item.
Although if you check out my test store at work, there's like 50 of them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then some of my like Artemis logo ones as well. There's lots.
Well, it's a test store, so that makes sense.
There's lots on my test store. There's all sorts of deals on them too. It's great.
Oh, perfect.
You can buy like
Web
50 for.
developers. Oh, goodness. We're both having coffee this morning because it's really early and we have a lot of role playing to do this afternoon.
Yeah.
And as I like to say, on activities where you have to be energetic and in the moment. So we're enjoying some Second Cup Batch 49 medium roast coffee this morning. I made one. Diana was on the bus.
Oh, it's so good.
I like Second Cup's coffee.
I'll be awake in a moment.
Not a massive fan of Starbucks coffee, but I will drink it. And here's the thing that makes people think I might not be Canadian. I don't think Tim Hortons makes good coffee. I don't even think they make coffee. I don't like it. I don't drink it. I don't enjoy it.
To be totally honest, I haven't tried Tim Hortons coffee since I've become a coffee drinker.
I will
So-
drink McDonald's coffee. McDonald's
I hear that's actually pretty decent.
does a decent cup of coffee.
Also, I haven't tried that since I became a coffee drinker.
Tim Hortons does not. So I don't. When I started officially drinking coffee, like doing it regularly, I was at university. Not a shock.
I somehow made it through university without coffee,
Which
so
is a little bit of a smaller percentage, I think, than those who get to university and discover the joy of coffee. I used to get it out of the Robin's Donuts little mini store at the base,
over there.
at one of the university campus buildings, and I forget the name of the building. It was right beside
Arms?
the Fletcher building. Was it the Arms building?
I think it's the Arms building.
This is what happens when you go to University of Manitoba. There's too many buildings, there's too many names, you can't remember any of them once you've been 4 years out of university. You're like, I don't know. It was one of the
It was
buildings.
that one it was the one that was like straight across
Yeah.
and you go down the stairs.
Yeah, and you go down the stairs and you
Yeah,
roll
I
the
know
elevator
what
up.
you-
Yeah. She knows what I'm talking
I
about.
know what you mean.
I would stand in line every morning because my first morning classes were always in one of those 3 buildings that were super attached to each other. And as a humanities student, you traveled all over the fucking campus. Because none of your classes were even remotely in the same building ever from semester to semester.
I just hated when I had to have an arts class because like all my computer science classes are in like the engineering building and the
Nope.
math building next
Nope.
door, and like maybe you have a science lecture one building further down,
Nope.
and then you have that one required arts course, and like, okay, I have to go across the quad now. I'm just marching across campus to University College for like some random other course.
Where if you did an arts or humanities degree, man, did you have toned legs because you hoofed it every day.
10 minutes between courses.
At
And
least 10 minutes between courses for 2 or 3 courses back to back. It's crazy. So, yeah, no, I started drinking coffee there, and I was doing the half coffee, half hot chocolate. So I'd actually get my large mug, before I started taking travel mugs, the disposable one-use ones, and I would fill it half up with hot chocolate mix, and then I'd stand in line and shuffle forward, because it was one line through, incredibly small, and it was always packed unless I got there first thing in the morning. And I usually got there first thing in the morning because I hated to pay for parking, so I would park a ways away and then hoof it in. And then I would fill the rest of it up with coffee. I think it was about into my second year where they stopped asking me what I had in my cup and knew what to charge me. I never bought donuts, I never bought sandwiches, I never bought bananas, I never bought anything else that was in there. I just got that one large cup of coffee with a hot chocolate mix. That's it. For 4 years. Every day. Sometimes twice a day, depending on how close we were to exam period and how many books I had to read in the afternoon after my classes were done.
I just drank a
They make
heck of a lot of tea.
So I got used to regular Joe coffee. But I don't like Tim Hortons coffee. I know. People are probably
It's
yelling
like-
at People are probably, the internet's probably yelling at me right now, and that's fine.
Just the Canadian internet,
Okay.
which isn't very big. Sorry. It's just the Canadian internet.
I like their donuts, I like their sandwiches, I like their teas, I like
Well, so long as you're into the donuts,
drinks,
it's probably fine.
the soups, I like everything else. I just don't like the coffee.
As I recall, the coffee is amazingly caffeinated, which is probably why people like it, but it just
Sure.
made me jittery.
But I'm
But I
not-
also recall it being rather acidic.
I'm not into the coffee for the caffeine part of it. I just like the taste of coffee because caffeine doesn't really do anything for my system. So
I'm all about the caffeine.
I don't have that crash. You've seen me. In about 6 hours when you're crashing, I'll be fine.
My crash happened like the instant I sat down in the car last night, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed now. And I went home and I went to bed. No, I went home and I did the dishes and I went to bed.
I did some cleanup and then I went to sleep because I was tired after making extensive notes. However, shall we talk some cool threads?
Yes, let us get on to some cool threads.
What did you wear this week? What were you wearing this week? The usual suspects?
Usual suspects, my hats, my socks. Hats being the sockhead slouch and the Lindsay slouch. Not wearing a hat today because hair is up. Hats don't fit. And the rainbow side shawl, which I actually have sitting next to me. It's been my scarf this week because the texture triangle is in the wash.
That's fair. And that's actually the meadow side shawl. You just call it the rainbow side shawl.
Yes, because it doesn't look very rainbowy. It looks pretty much purple right now, but in the ball, you could see a lot more of like the yellows and the greens and the pinks and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's pretty purple out
So-
of the ball.
Yeah, like when it's combined like this, because the other ball was, so you alternate balls all the way through. So I had
Okay.
one it was super rainbowy, and then the other one is grays and blues.
Oh, that
so
would
it-
mute it a lot.
It tones down the rainbow part of it way, way down, so it ends up just kind of looking purpley mostly, which is great, and I love it.
You'd imagine the colors I would pick for something like that, right? Be so bold. I don't know how to do subtle, guys. I've been wearing my Happy Podcast Anniversary shawl, which I finished, which is the Freya shawl by Shannon Cook. I made it out of 100% alpaca yarn from a wonderful local farm out near Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So I have been wearing the snot out of that because I really enjoy it, and it's crescent shaped. And it's been like -1 during the day. So when I say I'm wearing it, I mean it's draped over my shoulders by the lapels of my coat. It's not done up, it's not twisted. Sometimes my coat's not even done up, so there's that. I've also been occasionally wearing Diana's mittens that she knit me for Christmas. And I do mean occasionally, because I don't always need mittens right now when I'm outside during the day. And I have done something to my back. What? I don't know, but it is very angry at me. So I've been spending a lot of days sitting on the couch, which has got some good support for me. And I have been wearing my Boneyard shawl by Stephen West that I finished for the What You Knittin' Kitten Cow that,
Let's lean back on this couch. Oh, couch.
a really nice couch to lean back on. That knit along was hosted by Honeybee Knits and WTF Knitting. So, did I enter it? No, I just like to participate by making stuff. So, I'm awful. I'm always like, I'm gonna do this, but I never enter for prizing because I don't really care about the prizing. I just want to participate because it's fun.
It's all about the community building and I don't know.
It's talking with the people who are making the other shawls and sort of creating something at the same time other people are creating something. It's just really enjoyable. Anyway, I digress. So I've been wearing my Boneyard shawl when I've been sitting down at home and on my painkillers and stuff. So otherwise, that's it. The weather's getting warmer. My knits are starting to go away slowly.
I'm really
Until I
excited
switch to my spring coat when I go to visit my mom. I'll take some shawls out with me then.
I downgraded to my spring coat today.
Ooh. You mean
So-
away from that super heavy poofy parka?
Yes, I finally transferred. The only reason I was still wearing it is because I still had all my stuff in the pockets.
It's not that hard to switch stuff from one set of pockets to another.
Well, when you're running screaming out the door going, I'm late, you just grab your coat and go, and it's like, ugh. Yes, I'm wearing the -30 parka when it's -3. Yes, I know, I look ridiculous.
Well, not entirely, because we get a lot of people who are new to the country. They're still definitely wearing their -30 parkas because it's still really cold for them. I mean, I look ridiculous standing next to them waiting on the bus stop because my coat's open, I don't have my mittens on, I don't wear a hat anymore, my scarf is sometimes being played with like a toy because I'm bored at the bus stop. But I'm weird even for a Canadian, so it's fine. Alright, well that's it for cool threads. Oh my goodness, that means we're into Woolly Workings.
Yeah.
You wanna? I've got one that I'm currently knitting on right now. I have one finished object, and I have 2 more in addition. So technically, I have 4.
Well, let's start with your finished object then. I also have 3 projects on the go
I'm
this week.
mid-row. Mid-row.
Well, fine then.
Mid-row.
I'll go first then.
I could talk about the sock I'm mid-row on.
Well, you could do that too.
Ooh. I'm working on my March socks. Because, is the first one done? No. Is March almost out of the teens? Yes. Am I in trouble because I'm going to have to rush to finish that? That would be correct. Bonus, I have D&D this afternoon. That's a solid 5 hours worth of knitting I can get done, you guys. I'm not DMing. It's great! So I'm doing another classic, just sort of vanilla toe up, in the round on Magic Loop because I want to practice and get better at what I'm doing stitch-wise because I'm using this as a part of the Year of the Sock knit along. And I'm using it as an opportunity to teach myself how to knit socks because I didn't actually know how in January.
You do now.
I do now. I do these on a 2.25 millimeter needle. They are wood, so I can fly with them on an airplane. This is important information you guys don't care about. And
I can generally fly with metal. I've never been told I can't fly with metal needles.
I have to call and double check because this is really small. So I want to, if I can do it and not have my metal needles confiscated, I'd like to fly and work like on a shawl, which is a bit of a bigger project and easier to see.
At least domestically, I've flown internationally with metal knitting needles, like knitting on socks and shawls and whatever. I've never had any issue whatsoever.
And I've heard of some people who have, so I gotta call and double check, which is
All right.
fine because when you fly when you're legally blind, you have to call anyway, even though you book your tickets online, because you have to make sure there's going to be someone there to help you get to the air terminal, because you can't read the numbers anymore. So, for whatever reason, when I knit the socks, I always end up knitting them so the outside's on the inside and the inside's on the outside. So that's a thing. But here's my sock so far. I'm doing it out of a Cloud 9 fiberwork in her, oh goodness, rainbow something?
Rainbow Connection.
Rainbow Connection? Alright, striping up beautifully. So I've got some
So
pinks and
exciting.
blues and greens and chunks of white.
Gorgeous.
It is really nice. So I'm getting better with my increases, which I'm currently still doing as a knit front back instead of a make one because I can't see the stitches very well. So I've got a little bit of gap at my toes, but I don't care.
That works.
And yeah, I'm a good third of the way into my foot.
It
So-
looks good inside out.
It does look good inside out, which is kind of funny. So I've been working on that.
So nice.
It travels with me and lives in my Erin Lane bag. I'm gonna pull out the cake. Oh yeah, you can see the colors much better on the cake. You can see the blues, the pinks, the reds, the yellows. Just gorgeously, gorgeously, brightly colored and very cheerful, and I really enjoy working on it. So my travel go-to project. It's also the only thing that'll fit in my backpack, because all of my D&D stuff's in my backpack, and I only have enough space for a tiny little project bag, so the little project's going with me. Now we can talk about my finished object.
Okay, finished object, finished object.
Which I was going to wash and block this morning, and then I realized that I wouldn't be able to show it off, so I'm going to wash and block it tonight. Am I right side out? Am I wrong side out? I finished my Jamie shawl. So this still needs to be washed and blocked, so it's still going to grow quite a bit, because I got a lot of stretch going on here that I haven't blocked out. This was
Really
designed by the Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters on Ravelry, and it is a part of their All in the Family knit along that they're doing this year. Like the shawls, once I'm done blocking it, it's going to be a nice sized shawl. I did it out of a Lion brand Scarfy yarn, which is in a teal to white color rotation.
It looks even.
Words?
Nah,
How's that going for you?
I haven't finished my coffee yet.
Okay, that makes
I was
sense.
gonna say, it looks really good on camera.
It looks really good on camera. It's also
It
really
looks really good in person.
It was my first time doing a bobble stitch, so that was something I learned, which I always enjoy learning new stitches. So, and I love that it's all textured and there's no lace in it. And a lot of the shawls have, well, okay, it's got one eyelet row. You do twice, whatever. That's not lace.
That's lacy.
It's an eyelet row. So that's fine. But I enjoyed that, and it was a really fun and enjoyable knit. So this is also an acrylic, and it's going to go out with me to Saskatoon, so it may not come home. My mom might claim it because these are in her colors. I did make tassels for it, though, because I feel like it needs tassels. So the tassels are prepped and ready, so after this is washed and blocked, I will add tassels and weave in ends, theoretically. I never weave in ends, guys. Oh, the one thing I'm really not known for. Your turn. I've talked about 2 projects.
Alright, I am ready to bind off this sock that I'm working on.
Oh, God, I gotta get Colin Butt on my sock.
These are still my February socks. They are now my February-March socks.
Oh, I guess
Because
up
it's
on
not
February
happening.
socks or crocheted knee socks. They'll finish when I finish them. Whatever.
Oh, Yeah, I'm not finishing a whole pair of socks in 2 weeks. It's just not happening. So
You're not training in the next 2 weeks, is what you're saying?
yeah, no, I don't have any
40 hours worth of work where you just have to knit?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't get that this month.
Alright.
So yeah,
I want
I
to describe
literally
the yarn for all the people who listen to us and don't watch?
But it's the morning. It's still the morning. So it's a self-striping in various purples and speckly purples. It is the online Super Sock. Online Super Socky 4-Fatch.
You buy German sock yarn. Mine is from a local Manitoba dyer, and she's a wonderful lady and dyes nice yarn, so makes pronunciation a lot easier, you guys. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's online Super Sock. Yeah, and I just need to bind this off, and then I'm done.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
You can start a second sock today.
Well, I already have my second sock for this one.
Okay, then it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I will have my pair of February-March socks.
What are you going to work on at D&D?
My Rivers wrap.
Ooh. Well, you've got, what, 2 more projects? 1 more project?
2 more projects.
Alright, well then I'll go... No? I'll go, you go, I'll go, you go. Yes.
Sure. Whatever you said. Whatever you just... Oh my god.
Diana's going to enjoy her coffee, and Jelson's going to talk about the thing she casted on from her pile. Now, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have noticed that on Saturday morning, like the wee hours of Saturday morning, I posted a photo on Instagram. I do this a lot. I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom because I'm crazy and I drink a giant cup of tea before I go to bed, knowing I'm going to be up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. It still doesn't stop. Knit Club was happening Friday night for us in person, which we meet up with the girls once a month. And I didn't want to work on anything I had. I finished off the work I needed to do to give a sample pattern of a design I'm working on to a girlfriend of mine who's test knitting it for me. And then I decided I didn't like anything in my pile, so I was going to recast on something I had previously frogged, because I didn't like my initial cast on. Like, I knew I could do it better, like I didn't like the look of it. So I recast it on my winter honey shawl, which I am doing out of a Briggs.
Briggs and Little, I think?
Or Little and Briggs. No, Briggs and Little. And I'm doing it out of the Country Rose, which Diana gave me, because she doesn't like a Country Rose pink, and I happen to really enjoy Country Rose pink. And I have begun the process of doing the Winter Honey Shawl, which is by Andrea Mallory. Because I love big textured shawls. I think we all know this about myself. However, if you're new, Jocelyn loves a big textured shawl. And if it's not big enough, case in point, the shawl on the couch behind me, which I did for fun in a couple of weeks. Because that's how I roll. So, I even have a printout of the pattern, which I don't normally do anymore, because I usually end up reading the pattern on my e-reader, because I can make the font bigger. But this one I was so excited about, I printed it, and...
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah, it's this Winter Honey one. So it's got cable textures in it.
Depending on how it comes out, I may need to make one also.
There's 2 sizes. There's a smaller size, which is the pale one that's on top, and then the larger size, which is the darker brown, which is on the bottom. I'm making the large size.
Well, I mean, what's the point otherwise?
I'm 5'10", and I am not a tiny woman, so a tiny shawl just looks dumb on me. So I'm not doing that. I have a shawl-sized shawl, which means I gotta do it on the bigger size, which is fine. Also, it means I get to use up all of that really pretty nice yarn you gave me. So, there's that. I only have this left, which is my project in my project bag. So you are up, my dear.
Alright. I've got... Oh, goodness. Okay, so the yarn is all in my teacup bag from Dragon Fiber Bags, so I'm not going to open that. But it means I'm attached to this bag because the scarf doesn't fit in the bag. The yarn fits in the bag, the scarf does not.
That's because that's really for, like, a fingering weight 2-skein shawl project or a 3-skein shawl project. It's not meant for a 5-skein worsted weight project.
Shush, it's fine. It works fine. It's working great. But this is my Rivers wrap.
Who's the lady who does the Dragon Fiber Bags? Who's the lady who does the Dragon Fiber Bags?
Oh goodness, I don't know.
Gosh, she's so nice.
I know.
I never remember her name.
I'm really bad with names.
I am an awful human being. Oh, man. Okay.
Anyway, we're linking to her store in the show notes.
Yes, because they are wonderful bags.
So this is the Rivers wrap. It's coming along.
I'm going to describe it for people who are listening to the audio podcast.
You know what? I might need more coffee.
Words are not your strong suit, my dear.
No, they're not.
The Rivers wrap, which is a rectangular shawl pattern, starts.
Well, it's a
you
scarf.
It's
It's a bias knit stripy scarf
Yeah.
in 5 colors.
It's really pretty because you got a white, you got a cranberry, you've got a beige, you've got a green, and you've got a black. And holy Hannah, do you have ends going on all this bad boy?
Yeah, I'm just
Some of your stripe sections are small enough that you don't, but you've got some chunkier stripe sections where you've definitely got some end weaving.
I'm just ignoring all these ends right now. I'm gonna have an end weaving party at the end of this.
Well, I might have to join you. But this is beautifully chunky, like so pretty. My brain's thinking,
Squishy.
I think I have like 5 random skeins of worsted weight that just float around and look really good. I might have to make one of these for myself.
It's squishy.
That'd be so good. When you block it out too. Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be massive.
This
it's
is
already
it's yours for your one for the happy podcast anniversary. Are you at the halfway point?
I don't think I'm quite halfway.
Okay. That it's
I'm on the second
technically
page of the pattern, but I don't think that's quite halfway.
technically that knit along ends at the end of the month. Though if we're honest, it ends when Diana's done. So you still got time to get your entries in. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. We'll talk about that in events.
I'm gonna get, as you said, 5 hours of knitting time during D&D today, and this is what I'm working on. So
Perfect. I might have a heel of a sock, up to a heel of a sock, ready to be done. You might be over the halfway part of your shawl, scarf. And once it blocks, I think it'll be more shawl-like than scarf-like.
that's only gonna get about that big.
Big.
It's wrap dimension.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be a stole maybe,
Ooh,
which is a
maybe.
dumb word I think. A stole. You're wrapping it around you. You didn't steal anything. It's a scarf.
You're asking a full-grown 35-year-old woman who's drinking out of a Sailor Moon mug. You're really not the person to be judging what people choose to use words for. This is going to kick me in the teeth later this afternoon when I can't focus. Because all I'm thinking about is how I could be drinking coffee.
Sorry,
Now-
coffee?
I don't know. You were the last person to get coffee out of the coffee container.
I
Is
wasn't
there more
paying
coffee?
attention. I wasn't awake.
It's not my problem. There might be more coffee. Did you want to get up and check while I talk about my thing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
carry my bag with me. While I
carry
work.
my bag with me.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm not
wearing
quite as attached to my dragon fiber bag, which Diana got me for my birthday. Mine has got a coffee cappuccino latte print on it. It is wonderful. So you've got some different shaped coffee mugs, and it's got printing on it that lets you know how to put it together, if it's 2/3 of a cup of coffee, and you got some pictures of chocolate on here. It is definitely a 2-skein project bag, and I have definitely crammed in not a 2-skein project in this bastard.
There's a quarter cup of coffee.
Excellent. Now I'm gonna get more coffee. And I'm just gonna go, and it's gonna be super quick, and I'm not even gonna describe it until, oh, and we're done.
You're mean.
Jocelyn's designing a shawl. It's out. I'm doing a worsted version, working on a worsted version right now. I need to also work on a fingering weight version so I have all my math right. Because, man, do I need to double check my math. Always and forever. I'm a humanities student. And one of our closest friends, Red, is doing a secondary worsted weight version for me to tech edit my pattern so that we make sure that it makes sense and it's in English because that's a thing. So,
That was looking really good last night. She was working on it during D&D.
before I go away in April, there will be a pattern on Ravelry app. I will have set up myself as a designer, and there will be a pattern available for everybody.
That's exciting.
Because I do not want to have to take this with me and work while I'm on vacation visiting my mommy. I want to just be able to knit whatever I feel like, plus another cat sweater for her, which is a finished project that I knit, finished, and put in the mail all in less than a week and didn't show anybody. Smokey was really cold, you guys. He needed a sweater. And my mom was calling me every day. Is my sweater done? Well, since you requested it yesterday, no. But it'll be done tomorrow. Okay, I'll call tomorrow. All right. She called the next day and the sweater was done, and I put it in the mail post haste with some food samples for the cats.
Wow.
Not for my mom. Which was hilarious. Mailing it to the next province. It is an 8.5-hour drive on the highways. It is a 2-hour airplane flight to get from here to Saskatoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I could mail it for $13.09 regular post, which would take 5 to 7 business days to get there.
It's not
Or-
terrible.
I could mail it for $13.49, and it would get there the next day. I spent the extra 40 cents.
the postal service, but
I love
What?
the postal service because they deliver stuff to my door and I can send packages and birthday gifts and stuff and it's great. But oh my god, sometimes the cost ratios and my brain goes, you make no sense! But I'll take the extra 40 cents and get it to mom the next day. Yeah, sure, why not? I mailed her a letter last
weird.
week, she still doesn't have it. She's
I
just
don't understand.
man, you should have done that and paid extra money for it next day. I'm like, I know, it gets spoiled if you do that every once in a while. And it's so funny. Oh, gosh. That's when I, look and they're like, Amazon Prime, you can get it to yourself, the next 2 days, but it costs this. And I'm like, no, see, you don't even charge that much extra if you're going through Canada Post. And my postal dude, or dudette, depending on what time of year it is, because, everybody gets vacations, it's a thing, actually rings the doorbell and actually waits for someone to answer the door.
Whoa. I mean, they actually tried to deliver the package?
They actually try to deliver my package out here to me, which is great. Or does it sign that I ordered too much? So, I don't know which yet. But that's everything I'm working on so far. So, I currently have one shawl I just finished, one shawl I've just started, one shawl I'm designing, and a pair of socks to finish.
I have one more thing.
Go for it. not gonna stop
I
you.
did a couple rows on my wedding shawl.
Oh my god, we get to see this again.
Yeah.
I agree with the internet. Your stitch markers look like eyeballs, and I can't unsee that now.
I know, neither can I.
Which is
I haven't
great.
thought of
I
it.
love it because you're going to be working on the Stephen West eyeball shawl at some point this year, and I think those stitch markers need to go on the Stephen West eyeball shawl so your eyeball shawl can have eyeballs looking at you.
Okay, so it kind of actually looks like a hat right now.
Don't all circular shawls kind of look like hats when you're doing them? Because they kind of like a bag or a bun cover if we're Hutterite. What are you doing?
I don't know, not having enough coffee.
Oh my god. That's looking really good though. I don't recommend working on that while we're doing D&D today. That'd be bad.
No. So I've got, there's, I think, 14 repeats right now so that I'm set up to do, which are not repeats of these things. Like, that's the
What are you
shape.
doing? You're doing the,
Even Star.
Evening Star shawl. Yes.
Yeah, so this pattern here that I'm poking at is the, like the Even Star necklace shape. So there was 9 of those around, but now I'm on to the next thing, which is going to look like flower petals, and there's 14 of those around.
Okay.
And I'm sitting at 280 stitches in lace weight yarn.
It's going to be massive, you guys.
But,
It's a
it's
really
good.
nice cream, like antique ivory white lace yarn that you have.
Yes,
What
I
brand
may...
of yarn was that?
Oh goodness, I don't know. I got it at Ram Wools
Before
before
they
they closed,
closed,
and
yeah.
then they just, when they were moving all their stock to their new location, they'd found these giant cones that they just wound off into cakes.
Okay.
So all I know is it's 100% lamb's wool.
All right.
That's all I know.
Mystery wool.
Mystery wool.
That's okay. In other news that I can't discuss on here, but if you come stalk me on the internet, I'll talk about it to you there. Cindy, I'm talking right at you, my dear. Send me a message. I've decided what shawl I'm going to make for your wedding.
Ooh.
You guys, it's exciting. I'm ordering the yarn while I'm out visiting my mom. Mostly because where I'm ordering it from, I can also order dye stuff for dyeing yarn, and my dad's interested in learning how to dye yarn with me, so.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I like crafting. Always have. And my parents are accustomed to an artsy-fartsy daughter, as my mom says. Oh my goodness, you guys, there's a pillow behind my back to help my back. It's not helping enough. It's like their goggles. They're useless. They do nothing. Simpson quote for the day accomplished. Oh. Don't get back problems. It's not
PSA of
worth
the day?
it. PSA of the day. Don't get back problems. Don't get old. Avoid
Agreed.
it at all costs. Well, it's my fault. I knew I needed to start working out sooner than I did. I'm paying for it because now I'm dealing with some workout-related injuries till I get everything back up to where it needs to be. So it is nobody's problem but mine. I just want to whine like a small child about it.
Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
drink my
I won't stop
coffee.
you.
What's our next section?
Our next section is Yarn on the Go.
Sweet, where'd your yarn go?
3 sessions of D&D, including today, after this.
Knit Club, which is here because
yes.
the rule of thumb right now is everybody comes to the Blind Lady until all of the people in Knit Club start having babies.
Yes.
And when it's
somebody has
time for babies, we'll go to the mom
Yes.
until children are older, which we figured was a very fair breakdown.
So, at Knit Club,
I didn't go anywhere for Knit Club. I did put on pants though.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
I was wearing my pajamas most of the day, so I didn't bother while I was doing school because I was practicing literally creating bruises on different aspects of your body so that they would look good and real for special effects makeup, which is the course I'm taking right now. So I was literally making bruises on my upper thigh. Why the hell would I get out of my pajamas? I wear PJ shirts. I sit down and doodle bruises on my leg all day. And then wipe them off because, man, I looked like someone had kicked the crap out of me.
Yeah, maybe don't go out in public like that.
Yeah, no, they're the weirdest texts I send my partner right now. And they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna go do something." Right, I need to shower. Right now, I've got a massive scar crawling up my arm. I don't want to explain that to anybody. It'll smudge and get all over my clothes.
So,
Just
at
wait
Knit
till I
Club,
get to fantasy stuff. We'll start walking around looking like a dragon for half the day.
that's gonna be great.
I know.
Actually.
I might take selfies of that, going,
Oh,
"Well, I was
please
working
do.
on this today," while I'm knitting.
So I had asked some of the ladies of Knit Club if they would help me out and knit some flowers for my wedding,
Oh, we totally agreed.
and yes.
Now we're
So
sort of fine-tuning the details on that.
Red produced the first of these flowers.
I looked at the math and I looked at the flower you want me to make, and we need a finer yarn.
We definitely need fire yarn, but
We have our first rose, lily, whatever.
Rose?
What is that? Rose?
I think it's trying to be a rose,
Okay.
but
I'm making lilies because they're white, and I was looking at the points on the lilies and the flower pattern, and no, we need to have a fingering weight yarn of the absolute
yeah.
thickest.
So yeah, but now I can't unsee.
The lady's body part that flower represents?
Yeah. Red decided that the flower looks like lady parts.
When you're friends with a woman in nursing, or a man in nursing, the
So-
amount of stuff that gets related to human anatomy is astonishing.
So I need some thinner yarn so this looks like a flower and not a lady flower.
It looks chunky. I mean, the idea is really good, but yeah, we need to move to a lighter yarn so they
yeah.
look pretty and delicate and flower-like and not quite so
Yeah.
worsted. However, my cat loves it as a toy, so if you want to leave it here, she'll carry it off at some point and never give it back if you let her.
That would actually be really cute.
That won't help me with the don't play with my yarn thing, but yeah, go for it. I mean, that's fine. I didn't really travel anywhere with my yarn. I am this week. I'll be traveling with my yarn. So next podcast, I'll have yarn on the go to talk about.
Excellent.
Which works.
You did have some sewing though.
I did, you guys. Okay, so I have small project bags ready to go. And I have like medium-sized project bags ready to go. And if I'm honest, I'm a huge book person, so I also have those book bags where you can slide a novel, like a hardcover into, to protect the sleeve of the hardcover when it's in your backpack and stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
huge. They're nice, thin cotton, because you literally just want to protect the hardcover from being damaged or dinged, which is a huge deal if you're as big into books as some of us are.
Fair enough.
Which I've got, and I've got a couple of sizes decided for like laptop covers, so like you can slip your laptop into it. And it's not super big or padded, it is literally just meant to be between your laptop and whatever you happen to have in your bag.
Okay.
Because I find too much bulk on them, adds too much bulk overall. So I've got that. But I didn't have the big project bag decided. I didn't have the dimensions finalized for I'm making a sweater and have 50 million balls of yarn. I've got it decided. I found the pattern, I have cut out the fabric, and I am currently making the first couple. Super stoked.
Excellent.
Means we're a couple steps closer to an Etsy shop. I wanted
Getting
to
there.
have stuff. We'll get there. And
Slowly.
it's slow progress. I've worked on some progress markers. I fine-tuned some photos. Done some media marketing research. So like I'm doing stuff, but it's all background stuff. So I'm not ready to hit live on anything yet, which drives everybody crazy because I talk about it, but it's not ready to go. So that's fine.
None of these things take time.
They do, and I would rather have it done right than done haphazardly. So I'm taking my sweet time and I'm getting it done. But we made progress this week, and my cat still hates the sewing machine. Loud noises. She also hates the blender, the washing machine, and she's tried to knock the iron on her head at least 3 times.
Oh dear.
That I usually move really quickly about because it's usually turned on when she's trying to do that.
Oh yeah.
And that would really not be good.
No, it would not.
So that's my so little time. In addition to later on tonight, I am the lady sitting beside me is I'm going to probably sit on her if I have to get the measurements done because I must start the cosplays.
Well, I'm here, and I think we'll actually have a bit of time.
If we do while we're making lunch, I'm going to get yours. I also have to get Mr. B's. and we need to break down the costumes and get the stuff done, and what needs to be ordered needs to get ordered, because when I come home in May, I have to be able to sit down and start making. Because we also have a dancing event to go to in June.
June, yep.
Yeah, so I need your measurements because I need to take apart the dress I made you and remake it for you.
Yep. For I am different dimensions.
You are different dimensions now. Which is so okay. Because I'm shrinking it, so it's not that hard. But I really do need to do that, so I need your measurements again. So.
Yep, no, that makes total sense.
Yep.
I will
Which is
hold
okay
still and
because
let you attack me with measuring tape.
I need to make myself... Well, what I'm talking about is we like to attend the Regency Era Ball that occurs in the city. And they did their first one last year during C4, and we went because, oh my god, that had to happen.
It was so good.
And we loved it so much. We were like, oh no, we're doing it again.
Absolutely.
So now we're signed up to do it again, but this time it's in the summertime, so it's in June. So the dress that I made for myself in the winter is going to be too heavy because I did a thicker cotton underlayer with my linen top layer. So this time I'm going to do a double thin layer. So it's going to be a thin linen and a thin cotton. Otherwise, I'll be too warm. So I'm going to do that, and I have to remake Diana's, which was in a thin cotton and a thin linen because of the colors that she had picked. So it wouldn't have looked good, or as I had a darker color going, so I could have a bit more weight to the drape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to do those and finish those up. Well, I'm going to finish Diana's up before I go. I'm going to finish up my cosplay before I go. And then when I get home in May, I can do my dress because my mom wants to go fabric shopping with me, which is always fun. No, for my dad, but for me, it's a delight. I don't think he enjoys going fabric shopping. Okay, sure. He gets bored. It's fair. He does a lot of shopping with us. He takes us to bookstores, makeup stores, fabric stores. We go to yarn stores. We go to the big box stores. We go to the Western shops because my parents like to buy blue jeans and my dad likes cowboy boots and cowboy hats. So, like, we do a lot of shopping in different stores, but it's the only one he really kind of gets impatient with me at is fabric stores. I think that's because the knitting stores always have chairs so we can just sit down.
Makes sense.
He's totally fine if I take my time in a store where he can sit. I don't care. Makeup stores are the same way. He just finds one of the client chairs, sits down, and waits for me. Bookstores, yeah, no, he's... We've got it worked out. It's fine.
Good system.
It's a good system. So I'm going to do that, and I need to pick up 2 thin layers while I'm out and come home with that and do my dresses, but... Shortly there'll be a lot of sewing and not quite as much knitting.
I'm excited.
So am I. I want to break out the new old hot stuff in the fall. I have a sewing machine that's old, but it's new to me, so it's the new old hot stuff.
I like that name.
I know. It's the sewing machine's name. It's like, it's what we all call it. It's a Singer that's fresh from the table metal carry. So it's like, it's a travel one at, 25 pounds.
Totally travelable.
Which is better than the version before, which was put into the table and, like, screwed into the table so you couldn't move it. So it is portable. It's just a heavy portable, that's all.
It's portable, in quotations.
Mm-hmm. Which is totally fine. But that's it for my little time. Oh my goodness, are we on to Wool Gathering?
We are on to Wool Gathering.
Is that me again?
Yes, I have a thing that I will mention, but...
Sure, do you want to mention your thing?
Okay. So... Sharp-eyed viewers may notice that I am knitting continental style today.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you did that flip.
Yeah, so as of Friday, I've become a continental knitter because that week of training where I was knitting for 8 hours a day at work, I seem to have given myself a repetitive strain injury in my shoulder.
The urge to buy you the Ergonomics and Knitting book just keeps climbing for me.
Yeah, I should have been paying more attention, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and because I sit at a computer all day, I have been more focused on my ergonomics, but it's still not great.
So this is the bonus you get with video that you don't get with audio. This hasn't actually changed me doing derpy shit while she's talking.
Yeah, so all those awkward pauses in the audio.
Is Diana staring at me because I've done something daft?
So on Friday, my shoulder was actually really hurting a lot, and I'm like, I don't know if I can knit it all tonight. Like, this is very, very upsetting that I can't knit at Knit Club. Maybe if I try knitting continental, this will work. And it's totally working for me. Last night I was lying in bed just about to sleep, and I felt like my whole shoulder relax and everything.
I don't know if I knit continental or if I'm an English though. I don't actually know.
Well, you're completely mirrored,
So
so
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea what style of knitter I am. But I can knit for 12 hours a day if I want to. But then again, I practice proper ergonomics, so I couldn't tell you if that's because of one style or the other, or because because I do have back problems. I take really good care to make sure when I'm doing something, my posture is at that stage where I'm not slouched, and when I'm working at a computer, I'm not hunched over it. I'm sitting back properly because I know how much damage it can do.
Yes.
And I'm prone to back problems, so I don't need to make my life harder.
Paying a lot more attention to stuff, but yeah, if maybe if something's hurting, change up your style. It might work.
Yes.
That's my wool gathering.
We're gonna practice your posture, and we're gonna get you that ergonomics book.
As I slouch farther into the couch.
This is what happens when you hang out with young people. They just don't get it. You will in like 5 years, and then I get to say I told you so.
No, I totally get it. I'm doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Because we're at my place this week, I'm going to show you guys some of the birthday yarn that I got, last weekend. Mr. B's mom got me some more acrylic yarn, and I'm really excited because I am one of those people who likes acrylic yarn. I like all types of yarn, if we're honest. She got me another Carrion Big Cake, which is good. It's a Yarn Inspiration, and this thing it's 200 grams of color changing yarn. Is it 200? No, it's 300 grams of color changing yarn.
300 grams.
It's 300 grams, and it's amazing.
Enormous.
And I can't read the thingy, so before I describe it, can you tell me what the colorway says?
If I turn it right side up, I can.
What?
Grape jelly.
You can't read upside down?
No, I can't.
I don't know, man.
It's the grape jelly colorway.
What it does is this is like the size of my hand. It's the size of my head when I hold it out in front of my head. And it rotates from a deep purple into a medium purple into a lighter lilac purple. I don't know how that... There you go. That shows up nice on the camera for everybody to see.
Oh, that is nice.
This is great. I love me some color changing acrylic yarn. Because holy Hannah, can I make stuff with color changing acrylic yarn that is then washer friendly. My niece is 11. Washer friendly is really important, you guys. The other large cake that she got me, I'm currently making crocheted house socks out of. So I'm going to see how that goes. And if I like that, I might take this purple rotational one and I might make little house booties for myself. Yeah, a nice thick chunky house shoe thingy. I like to wear socks in the winter. I like them thick chunky socks you can't stick in shoes. For my mom and dad's house. So that way I can take it out and leave them out there, so when I'm visiting them in Saskatoon, I have a pair of around the house slippery sock things, which then can just go in the washer and dryer. So, in addition, she didn't get me one, she got me 4 skeins of yarn, which is super sweet. I got a Charisma one, which is, who does the Charisma? It's Lion Brand again. No, it's Loops and Threads. This one's just 100 grams. Which is fine. It's in a deep purple, which kind of goes with... She likes to color match her yarn when she gives it to us. So I've got blues,
super nice.
Blues and purples and stuff. So sweet. It works together really well. I still can't read the colorway, but it is definitely a deep purple, and it's a chunky.
Well, it's literally called dark purple.
Wonderful. It doesn't have to have a fancy name. It just needs to have a name. This is definitely in the bulky, though.
Chunky, bulky, something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely...
bulky. It says right there on the ball band.
It's a bulky yarn. I can see from looking at it, it's a bulky yarn. Which is still awesome, because I have bulky yarns. So, this is not a problem. They bulky knits up so fast! And I got a couple of patterns that I want to do that call for bulky yarns. So, totally doable. I think this one's bulky too, yeah. These are the other 2 ones. And she got me 2 matching color changing ones. Again in the Charisma and by the Loops and Threads. I can just hand one over. And this goes, what did you say? Blues into like a gray purple?
Northern Lights is this colorway.
This is not the Northern Lights, but that's okay.
It's I don't think it's not green enough.
It doesn't have enough in there, but it's definitely got some nice kind of up to those turquoise tealy blue colors. Those are really pretty yarn, so I'm going to hold it up to the camera for everyone to see now that I'm done describing it. And I got 2 balls of this, so I kind of like how they look with the deep purple. And since I got 2 in this one, I'm thinking, and they're all bulky, hat and mitt set where I make part of the hat, like the cuffs and stuff, make a deep cuff in the purple, and then do the rest of it in the green color changing. or do some striping effects at the bottom because I like a deep cuff on my mittens, and then fade into the striping towards the end, and then do the same with the hat and do some striping at the bottom, and then fade into the
That
striping yarn.
sounds awesome.
Random thought. That also means I can just knit and go and it's fine, which is always good. But that's my wool gathering. I'm just show off my birthday yarn. Next week you can show off yours because we'll be at your house.
In fact,
Oh my goodness, what do we have left? I think we're almost good.
we're
done
just
today.
about done. We just have some events to talk about.
That's easy enough.
So, ongoing, we have our podcast anniversary knit along that's going till the end of the month, or
Yep.
until I finish this Rivers wrap that I'm currently knitting on. So use the hashtag HappyPodNKP2018 on Instagram if you want to show off your stuff. Also, so this knit along is anything by Shannon Cook. So if you use hashtag VeryShannon on Instagram, so she sees your stuff. And if you want to enter for prizing, we have a prizes finished object thread. It's called the podcast anniversary FO thread on our Ravelry group.
Yep.
So post a picture of your finished thing before I do, and you'll be entered to win some prizes.
Mhm.
Do you have the prize yarn handy? I don't know if we've ever showed it off.
We've showed off the prize yarn as
Okay.
it's come in yet, and then what we'll do is we'll show them off once it's put together into bundles, and then we'll show off the bundles when we're drawing prize names, like when we're drawing people's names for it. So
Yeah, so we have some yarn from Noble Ruby Designs and from Cloud9 Fiberworks for
Mhm.
prizes.
and they're both two amazing local designers that we are quite enamored with.
Mm-hmm.
We really do love those ladies a lot.
And then the new mugs that I got for us.
And I've put aside a couple of sock sacks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we've got bags and yarns and cups. I feel like I need to say, oh my.
Eggs and yarns and
Cups,
cups.
oh my. So that technically runs to the end of the month, but yeah, it's when Diana's finished, we'll officially wrap up, and then you'll have a week after she shows off her FO'd wrap to enter, and then I will close the thread down.
Sounds like a plan. We
So
also
for all of you knitting sweaters, you still have time. Also, yay, sweaters!
I'm so astounded
Oh, so
by
excited.
you guys, ladies, people, knitters, by you knitters.
I'm excited by the whole community. It's so cool.
So
Alright,
exciting.
we are running a year-long knit-along called Year of the Sock.
Question mark.
Question mark. The threads stay open an amazingly long time because I can't be bothered to post a picture. But month to month, enter your completed pair of socks, and you get an entry ballot or number, or however I decide to do it in the end, for the end of the year prizing, which is going to be a beast of a prize. That we've not talked about because I am nowhere near done getting stuff for that. So not till we're closer to the end of the year.
And then probably when we get into fall, we'll figure that out better.
I'd imagine probably by about November I'll have it kind of finalized because we'll be drawing names for that in January of next year.
Sounds good.
It also means if you don't participate for a month, that's fine.
Yep.
Just
I don't
get
have
an
February socks anymore. I have March socks now.
entry. That's fine. You just don't get an entry for that month. Not the end of the world.
So yeah.
No one's gonna die.
Post your socks in the Ravelry thread and
Post
the
the socks in the
appropriate
Ravelry
monthly thread, or if pictures aren't working for you, a link to your project page will do just fine.
Oh yeah, I can follow links. That's not a problem. Might not be able to create the things, but I know how to push the button.
Go ahead. Some days
Some days it's a question.
I need more coffee.
That's fair. So, what other knit-alongs are we following? Are you going to join in with me in some crazy stuff?
Oh, probably. I
The
like.
crazy. I'm participating in the All in the Family knit-along, which is being
Yeah,
hosted by the Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters.
I'll probably do some of that. How is that working?
What you do is they're creating a shawl for each sibling. Now, there's 4 of them. I love the Jamie shawl, and I now own a finished version of the Jamie shawl. So once I got the tassels in, I'll put that entry in. I'll actually put the entries in this time. I've
Really?
bothered before.
Really?
I'll do it this time. Why not? What's the worst I do? Don't lose. Who cares? Or don't win. Who cares? I've got the Katie shawl pattern and yarn picked out for the Katie shawl, so I'm going to start that once I'm done with my test knit for my design. And knowing Sarah, and she makes some amazing designs. I'm really excited to see what she comes up with for her and for Chrissy. So I will pick up those patterns as they become available and knit them as they're open and out. I am going to participate in their cotton knit along. for spring, which they're working on in conjunction with Garden Creek Crafts. I think that's the one. That's the lady who does the Pima cotton. It's a mother-daughter team. One does
Speckles?
one does one type of dyeing and one does the cotton dyeing. And I think it's Garden Creek who does the cotton dyeing. My mom wears more cotton and I wear cotton in the summer. We don't wear wool. Mom can't wear a lot of wool anyway. So they're designing a shawl to go with 2 skeins of I think it's the Garden Creek Crafts yarn. So I am definitely going to finish my starting point wrap by Hoki Locatelli. Is that a Hoki?
Starting point? I believe so.
Yes, it's the mystery knit along from Hohi last year that I wasn't able to finish because I ran out of yarn, and then I ended up waiting 3 months for my local yarn store to get more in that I needed. I should have just ordered from the company, but that's fine. So I've got that, so I think I'm going to finish that one up as one of my entries, and then I'm going to make that new pattern because they've showed it up on their podcast, and they really like how it's coming together, so I want to make one of those as well if I have time. So that starts, they're thinking early April. They're boasting the 1st of April, but I'm not going to quote that because if they're running late or need to do some added changes to the tech designs and stuff, like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
So when they get started with that, I'm going to pull up the starting point and get that finished because, man, it's a massive cotton wrap, and I really want to have that done. And they're also doing a Stephen West knit along, which I think I've picked out my colors for my exploration station, which is the next Stephen West I want to make. So I think I'm going to enter that one as well too, because man, do I love me a Stephen West pattern.
Well, I do have that eyeball shawl that's like 2 rows in.
You do, and they always
which I don't like my
accept
cast on, so I'm gonna redo that.
They accept whips, so I think I want to.
It's got 8 stitches on the needles.
Oh,
it's
geez,
not
then
even a whip.
Pull it off and start again.
It's not even a whip.
Oh heavens!
It's like
so doesn't count.
It's just sort of an ip. It
gives me a reason to put the exploration station on the to-do list a lot sooner than I would on my own. So yeah. I want to do that. So I think I'm going to jump in on that one, probably in a week or 2 when I'm done my design work on the show. I think
Sounds
that's what
good.
I'm going to do. Yeah, that's a thing. Then we will be into April and May, and once we hit May, we have Stash Dash.
Mm-hmm.
So excited! Oh, I could do my Speckle and Pop Mystery knit along from Stephen West too.
You
You
could.
guys, I have a lot of whips. If you haven't seen the Instagram post where I show you all 15 plus whips that I had on my coffee table.
It took up the entire coffee table, and some stuff was falling off and rolling away.
Oh yeah, and some of it was being jacked by a kitten.
Mhm. She was trying to make an art installation.
Yeah, that's true. She does that from time to time. So that was fun. But yeah, I got a lot of whips, which I want to work through this summer. Which is fun because none of the ones on the table are older than a year. The
True.
starting point's my oldest, and it started in like May of last year.
This is true.
So if I finish it in April, and I don't have a whip that's over a year old, so I don't feel bad about having 15 projects on the go because I'm still definitely finishing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's good. I also
Nobody's
need to start.
in doubt about that.
No.
You know, how many shawls have you finished in the last month? 2? 3?
3.
3. There you go. 3 shawls in a month. So
Well, I finished the Freya shawl middle of February. End of February.
End of February.
And then I finished the Jamie shawl this week. I finished the Tracy shawl last week. And I want to cast on the Jody shawl right away.
So yeah, it's not like you don't finish stuff.
I finished lots of stuff. I just sometimes have projects where I'm not working on anything. And I still can't bring myself to do anything with my granny squares from last year. So they're just sitting. So I'm just like, no, I can't. I can't. Like, I want to crochet, and I do crochet, but I can't bring myself to even open the bin. When I can bring myself to open the bin and start working on projects out of it, I'll take a photo of the bin so everybody can see. But right now, my brain's like, no.
That's fair.
Just no. I'm not ready for it yet. So I'm not doing that. All right. After Stash Dash.
That takes us into the fall.
In which case, I have Knit City, which I will be attending the first weekend in September, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving. Because that's how Knit City works. It's always the weekend before Thanksgiving in
Canadian
Canada.
Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving. And then later in September, we will have the Holy Hannah. I keep forgetting it.
The Manitoba Fiber Festival.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, they'll be releasing patterns soon for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, I have to decide if I want to be a vendor and get my snot together. don't have
Or
enough to
don't,
do.
you know, you do you.
I think I might want to push to get it done because I think I would really like to attend as a vendor. Do you want to get a free pass and help me be a vendor for the weekend?
Yes.
Done.
Is that even a question? Of
I
course.
have my booth, babe, you guys. So totally done. Just watch everybody. Can I leave stuff in your booth? If you do some work in my booth, my booth can be a storage location, yes. But you have to do some work. Terry's work will be bringing me food.
Good work.
She understands my food allergies. That's all I really need in life. It's a friend who understands my food allergies. Because hers are worse.
Yeah, between the two of you, it's
oh my goodness,
difficult.
it is so hard. But, so I gotta make that decision, but that happens in September. And that's really it until we get into the fall. I mean, minus whatever other knit-alongs I find that I want to participate in, so there's that. Usually by about September, I kind of lock down the knit-alongs, because I'm already well into my Christmas knitting, and I love participating in the Grinch along at the end of the year, so.
I am very sure I'm going to do the Grinch along this year,
Okay.
so everybody wants socks this year.
Christmas in
conveniently.
July.
Well, as starting my next pair of socks, my April socks, they're gonna not be for me anymore.
Okay.
These February, March socks, they are in my colors, they are for me.
Okay.
Next pair of socks, not for me anymore. They're gonna start being for other people.
Oh, I'm going to start my Christmas knits in July. So Christmas in July. And then that way I'm done at the end of November. And in December, all I have to do is knit for myself. Ha-ha.
My brother's birthday is in September. He wants socks. My dad's birthday is in October. He probably wants more socks. My mom's birthday is in December, a couple weeks before Christmas. She also really likes socks. And then it's Christmas.
Yeah.
So if I just start making people socks now,
You're good to go.
then I'll have Christmas sorted for my family.
Done. That works. It's bonus.
Yep. Buy them some chocolate, done.
Make life easier on yourself if you can. That's my theory.
Yeah.
So that's it. Pretty much it for us for events.
I think it is.
We haven't had anything to review recently. Just haven't had the time
It's been busy.
during daylight hours to get somewhere where I can look at books. So I'm hoping to correct that problem in the next week or two.
You have that new library that just opened like this week.
You guys, I used to have to travel 40 minutes to get to a library. By bus. I now have a 10-minute walk.
It's exciting.
It is so cool!
It looks pretty in the pictures.
Just wait. I'm gonna go sometime this week, I'm hoping. I am super busy Monday and Tuesday with appointments. It's closed on Wednesday, so I think on Thursday. Thursday is the day, you guys.
That's exciting.
I'm so pumped. Well, Tuesday I have to go get my passport, so.
That's exciting.
Well,
Busy. Important. It's important. There's the word. That's the word.
it is important because if Mr. B is able to come out with me to Vancouver in the fall, we're going to go to Seattle for a day or two. So,
yes.
I need my passport.
Yes.
I can fly domestically, fine. I have ID for that. But to travel internationally,
Yes.
is required a passport. So I should get
I
that
need to
done.
renew my passport. I have the pictures. I just need to actually do the paperwork and send it in.
Well, I've got a doctor's appointment Monday morning, so I figure after that I will go get my photo done. I've got the application, I've downloaded it and printed it, so it's all filled out. So Tuesday morning, because I've got a specialist appointment downtown, I will do my at 8:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
I do mornings, which is okay, because you know why? That means I'm walking to the Government of Canada building at 9:30 in the morning, which means I am done all of my adulting by noon, and this coming Tuesday is a knit and nosh. So I can take myself
Wow.
down to across the board in the Exchange District, sit down and knit all afternoon, and have a really good vegetarian lunch.
That sounds amazing, and I'm actually kind of jealous.
Jocelyn's got her day planned. And stop by the library, drop off the books that are due on Tuesday, and pick up the book I have on hold at my old library. And then to start getting the books delivered to my new library.
Nice.
Come home and Tuesday evening I babysit the kid, my niece, and this Tuesday is order Smokey's Patisserie Day, because she's been saving her allowance money for me for that. So we will be ordering in for dinner.
Nice.
Got my plans, folks. Got
Sounds
my
like a
plans.
fantastic Tuesday.
It's a great Tuesday. If I could somehow manage to swing by the Forks and McNally Robins's new location, this would be golden, but I don't think I got the time. I think I'm going to have to make a separate trip to the Forks.
I think so. I mean, if you weren't going to go knit all afternoon, but
I'm-
knitting all afternoon is important.
Definitely going to go knit in the afternoon, because the ladies that meet up there are fantastic. They are lovely, so.
I wish I could come, but, you
That's
know,
okay.
work.
It's the middle of the workday. Well, I can't do the evening ones, because
Yeah.
it's too dark. When we get out, I just can't see to get home. So, theoretically, in the fall, I'm living closer to you, and then we can start doing some of the evening knit events.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Which would work really well. But that's it. That's all. We are done a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I'm not going to start a row because that would be bad. I'm going to stick my needles in my project and just
Oh wait,
drop it
there
on
we
the
go.
floor. So that way we can go, that's it, we've made it to the end.
Aha.
Now we get to the point where we get to go, hey,
Hey.
as Jocelyn says, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the videos
Shall
below.
I subscribe?
Or as Diana says, shall I subscribe? Come join us on Instagram and on Ravelry and we'll chat. True story, I'm more active on Instagram and Facebook than I am on Ravelry. I'm a bad human being. I'm a bad podcaster is what I am. I gotta get on Ravelry more often. I get sucked into, this week it was pie shawls. I spent 6 hours looking at pie shawls.
Oh wow.
Like, I could have been more productive. I should have been more productive.
But pie shawls are
Instead,
pretty.
I spent all of my time going, that's really pretty, and then following all of the project. Like, oh, you guys, I have a problem. I have like so many things I want to make. I don't have enough time.
It's
No more
vicarious
sleeping.
knitting through other people's project pages.
Oh, one of the ladies in the Fiber Friends Friday Night Knit Club posted a picture of the pie shawl she's working on. The colors are so bright and they're so intense. I just want to touch the yarn and wear it. It's so cool. I love the math idea behind the pie shawl, so I really want to make one.
I have some
It's great.
self-striping rainbowy yarn with a dark blue background
Mm-hmm.
set aside for a pie shawl.
Pie shawls. It's gotta have. I'm in such a shawl sweater kick. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous.
Such pretty yarn. It's gonna.
The reason I haven't ordered the yarn for your
Super
shawl is
simple.
because I'm also ordering a sweaters quantity, and I haven't fully finalized what sweater
Mm.
I want to do. So until I finalize that, I'm not ordering twice. That's crazy. I'm just gonna order once. Because
Makes sense.
shipping is complicated. And my mom's ordering it because it's coming from America, and anytime I order yarn from America for myself, it takes 3 months to get here. But if somebody else orders it, I just pay them. It shows up fine.
Maybe I'll have my birthday yarn by Christmas.
That's my hope. I ordered
It's
it.
fine. I understand.
I ordered it in early February. It should have made it here on time.
I understand. It's not like I'm hurting for yarn.
Squinty eyeballs of frustration going on over here. God, why? And it's just yarn. Anything else I order, chemicals, that's fine. It'll come through the border, no problem.
But
My
that
yarn,
yarn.
The
Ooh.
just yarn gets held up at the border for me. Makes no sense. None. Whatever. There's nothing I can do about it.
It'll get here when it gets here.
It'll get here when it gets here. I just gotta let it go and be super excited when it shows up. To the point where I will probably tweet you with the closed package photo going, oh my god, it's finally here.
Yay!
Oh, goodness. Oh well,
Shall we wrap this up?
I think that takes care of us for the week.
Yeah.
Huh? So I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
We did this entirely cat-free.
We
I
did.
have
Where is she?
no idea where she's gone.
I kept looking like I'm that shadow. It has to be. No, it's
No.
not the cat. Okay.
No, it's middle of the morning. I generally don't see her after she's had all of her breakfast. She goes somewhere and sleeps. I don't know. She's full into the basement. She can do whatever she wants.
All right.
I don't worry about it. She's warm enough now. She's big. She's large enough now. She can maintain her own body heat.
Mm.
And I keep the bedroom just a smidge warmer, so if she gets cold, she can go lie down in there. Odds are pretty good she might actually be lying above the toilet and sleeping.
Seems to be your spot,
It is her favorite go-to quiet space.
which I don't understand, but sure.
I don't know. Let's make some salmon and pasta for lunch.
Agreed.
You have to hit the stop button.
Stop button.